Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for underrated Michael Bay films. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tyler.
Yeah. I went there.
You did.
Right?
You did that. You hate Michael Bay. You hate Bay and all the Bayhem he causes.
So much about it, but here we are, Tyler. What did we watch?
We watched Six Underground, the Netflix Michael Bay movie.
Yes. I mean, what else can be said? Michael Bay. We've seen so many Michael Bay movies, mostly just Transformers ones.
Speaking of, I've seen a lot of Michael Bay movies.
Yeah, I think I didn't see the Benghazi one.
I like that one.
Which I've heard is good. And I didn't see any of the Bad Boys movies, which I also heard were good.
Did he direct the new one? Bad Boys for Life?
Bad Boys for Life, which I actually also heard was good. I don't know. If I had to just guess, it would be that he was a producer on that. He was not a director.
Just producer?
I can find out for you. He has 62 directing credits. I think he's one of the music video guys, though.
Yeah, he does music videos.
So, it doesn't actually say he produced it.
Oh.
So, having said that, I don't know what his level of involvement was.
I don't know. I was gonna make a joke about what would happen if you gave him like a old-timey setting,
Yeah.
like a Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
And then I thought about the Robin Hood movie with Edgerton, and I was like, "That's what you would get."
Yeah.
just a Fast and Furious movie with nothing different. Cody, how many under $5 million budget indie films do we need to watch for me to get you to watch that Robin Hood movie? Because I will tell you this. The actors are all great. The sets are all impressive. Everything is great, except for the movie itself. The story of it is, I would say it's not bad. It's ridiculous. It's like, hey, I see you over there, Transformers and Fast and Furious and all you.
Yeah.
But you're not doing enough.
Okay. I mean, I'll try anything once, I've always said that to you before every adventure we go on.
Yeah.
So, I'm open to it. Here's the thing about Michael Bay. He's directed The Rock, which doesn't have a good critic score, but I've heard is good.
Yeah.
He's directed Armageddon, which is, we all know it. He's directed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Did he not? Oh, he did Bad Boys, which also isn't critically acclaimed, but I think people liked it. It has 3 movies.
Yeah.
He did The Island, which is fine. And then we go into Transformers, Pain and Gain.
Have you seen The Island?
13 hours. No, we watched the beginning of it after a Fast and Furious movie, though, because it has our boy, may he rest in peace, Paul Walker.
Yep.
So, you like that one?
I saw it when it first came out, so I was much younger. Thinking about, describing it, like I described the plot to my wife, it's ridiculous. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense in the world that they've built.
Okay.
But that's when it's got, McGregor and he's, the main person, right?
Conor McGregor?
Ewan
McGregor?
Is it Ewan? Ewan. Obi-Wan.
I'm struggling to know what The Island is about. Here's who's in it. You know what? I was getting it confused with the one with Paul Walker in it. Blue Island, Blue...
Yeah, where he's like a surfer guy. Blue, Hawaii. I don't know.
This one has Ian McGregor, Scarlett Johansson, Digimon Hounsou, Steve Buscemi, Sean Bean, Michael Clark Duncan. So,
yeah.
Entirely different movie. It is about a man living in a futuristic, sterile colony begins to question his circumscribed existence when his friend is chosen to go to the island, the last uncontaminated place on Earth.
Yeah.
So...
It's a very interesting movie. It's Logan's Run with a twist.
Ah, all right.
Plus, you get to see Michael Clark Duncan smash his way through some orderlies.
I'm looking through his discography. What's it called?
Filmography.
His filmography for directed credits. And he doesn't have his only movie that's a green Metacritic, so above a 60, is Transformers.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Six Underground is his best movie. Having not seen half of them, and having seen half of them, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is the best Michael Bay movie.
I think, what's the Benghazi movie?
13 Hours.
13 Hours.
Oh.
I think that's his best, in my opinion.
I have heard good things about that.
But it's very controversial, and I think the fact that it's the best is because it's very much just like he had those guys tell him the story and they made a movie about it. It's not like him making the movie and the story.
Yeah.
It's just recreating something that happened.
So this is interesting. Maybe I'll have to see that one. What a storied career Michael Bay has had. And for me at least, I think this one wins.
Yeah. What's his greatest misstep? I'll tell you right now. Not doing the broken block letters for the Bayhem logo on the Bayhem camera. I said it once, I'll say it again. Why is it just normal lettering?
You're asking great questions.
It should be, the big blocks that are like cracks through them, and it should be illuminated.
Yeah.
It should be distracting to the cast.
It should be. So, Six Underground.
Yes.
Let me tell you about it.
You're going to tell me about it?
Yeah, I want to change things up a bit. Six Underground is a movie where they said, you know what? Remember that movie, The Old Guard, that's about to come out? Well, what if we did that, but no one's immortal, and our charming boy Ryan Reynolds is here, and he's in charge instead of a steely and intense Charlize Theron. And we all said yes, and Netflix agreed to pay $150 million for it.
Yeah.
That's it. You got a team of elite whoever's who have faked their deaths and now operate above the law to do the good that the system didn't let them do.
Yeah.
Did I do it?
You did it.
Yes.
I don't think it really encapsulated the soul of the movie, but you said the facts.
Plot. I did yes. So, okay, give me your impressions, and if you want to tell me about what is the heart and soul of this movie.
So, I mean, okay. I'll tell you the heart and soul of the movie. If this sounds good to you, you should watch the movie. If not, probably not going to be into it. This is what the Assassin's Creed movie should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is exactly the whole premise of the Assassins in Assassin's Creed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So if they had done this, instead of saying like, hey, you've played all the video games, right? Well, we're going to tweak that a little bit so that it's just different enough that even you'll be a little lost. And we'll make that into a movie. My point is they made an Assassin's Creed movie with a completely different animus when they should have just done this.
Should have been a Michael Bay, Ryan Reynolds Assassin's Creed movie from the beginning.
Yeah, like if at the end they were like, we're getting one more guy, and then they kicked in a door and it was a guy strapped into an animus and they got him out, I would have been like, oh my gosh, that was awesome,
Yeah.
I would have believed it.
Yeah. But the one thing, look, you captured the essence, but the heart of this movie is the Ryan Reynolds comedy device that is also a ripoff of the Assassin's Creed action movie. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because it has plenty of humor in it. And I think that's what made me most drawn to it and made me appreciate. Spoiler alert, I liked this movie.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if it's just because my expectations were low.
They were very low.
They were, but it significantly exceeded my low expectations. I actively like this movie.
Yeah.
And I would watch it again.
Which is funny because you avoided it, I felt
for
like.
So long.
Like you wanted to watch it, I wanted to watch it, but then you didn't.
I got cold feet.
Yeah.
I got cold feet. It's a Michael Bay movie, okay? I got cold feet. It happens.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of that goes to, we were like, do you want to watch old Six Underground or the Old Guard? And we both went for the Old Guard, which is, I would say even Netflix pushed it as like, this is kind of the popcorn action movie, but the Old Guard is like, for this quarter, this is our big budget movie.
Yeah.
So we picked the one they were pushing as the more big deal movie.
Yeah, 600 Ground had been out for a while. and Old Guard was the hot new thing, and we turned our back on Michael Bay as we should, and he proved us wrong. This is a good one. I liked it.
It's a goodie. How much of that do you think though is owed to Ryan Reynolds? Like you said,
40. Here's what it is, and I mean we're just gonna get through some of the stuff I have to talk about now. But what I didn't know is that this movie was written by the same people who did Deadpool, Zombieland, also Clifford the Big Red Dog's movie, and that Disney movie Dinosaur. Anyway, the people who wrote Deadpool and Zombieland wrote this movie, and I think it's 40% Ryan Reynolds, 30% the writing, and the other 30% is just, well, it's an over-the-top action movie, so Michael Bay can just go all out, and the comedy works. It's so over-the-top that Michael Bay can do his thing, while Ryan Reynolds' charm can carry the good writing of the Deadpool Zombieland guys to an enjoyable film. I mean, that's kind of what happened, I thought.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it did work.
Yeah.
It worked more than I thought that it would from the trailer I saw. The trailer had my curiosity where I was like, I will check this out. But like once I started catching on to the jokes, I was like, you know what? This is the different thing and I really like it.
Yeah, I agree. It's better than the trailer.
Yeah.
Which is rare, Feels like usually the trailer is better than the movie.
Yeah, for these kind.
So do you want to get into spoiling it, or did you have some more
we
top
should.
level takes?
We should.
All right.
Get right into there.
We'll get into my little my little thing, my little go-kart thing, my little rally car.
Tuner? No? Rally car.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
He fell in love with rally cars so much from Transformers 4. Yes.
I've intentionally forgotten everything I know about the Transformers movie.
This is name he drives. What was his name?
6. What?
No.
Oh, Shane?
Shane.
Shane, he drives.
Yeah. That's why 6 drives. This is 6. Shane. 6. 6 is Shane.
There you go. Couldn't let that Shane character go to waste,
Exactly.
All right. So we're here.
We're here. We're in Spoilerton.
My notes are all over the place. I'm just going to be real with you. Plot of the movie, Ryan Reynolds trying to do the best he knows how while being a ghost with his team of ghosts, doing crazy, crazy things that no one would ever do except him because he's a billionaire and he's got money and he wants to do the right thing. But in an action sort of A-team, sort of vigilante, global police force kind of way.
Yeah. Which I like how they peppered throughout the movie flashbacks of his journey to get to starting the team. Mm-hmm. Him going from the, just generic billionaire to realizing there's bad and then trying to stop the bad and seeing that there's really nothing he could do with all of, billions of dollars couldn't fix it.
It kind of, the trailer kind of sells it short because the trailer's just like, hey, man, we're going to go out here and we're going to kick some butts. And that's kind of the vibe I got from the trailer.
Yeah.
And then the movie, you're like, there's actually some substance behind Ryan Reynolds' character. Mm-hmm. Like you said, they peppered in throughout. And so, I don't know. It gives a little substance to the movie, even though it is comedy, plus a lot of crazy action. But all that tied together makes a beautiful little cocktail. It goes down smooth.
Yeah. But so the whole premise is, right, so he's a billionaire that made magnets or something.
Yeah.
And so he fakes his death and then finds other people to fake their death to join his team, like the best.
Yeah, the base.
And so this is their first mission is what it opens on, their first real mission, which I didn't think. I thought it was going to be like, this is what they do.
Yeah, you thought it'd be, it's like a classic action movie, them kicking butt, or like everything went according to plan. Love it.
Yeah, which they're like, well, after they get so they do the first thing. It's super cool chase scene after they kill the general. Did they kill the general guy? They kill the guy they're after. Mm-hmm. And then it's them running from the Italian police, and they're going through Florence.
Yes.
Which, this is the other thing I was like, this is why this is good. Because Florence, big Assassin's Creed, and him running along the house while they're doing the chase. Right. I'm like, this is, why don't you just give this same script a little bit different to Michael Bay to make Assassin's Creed movie?
I thought I read somewhere that was like a real parkour guy that just like brushed up on acting to do the...
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I think he's French or British, right?
I think he's British.
And he's actually someone who does a lot of the
Yeah, I think he's like a parkour guy first.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen him in stuff, so I think that's why he's become a better actor because he's cast as that.
Yeah.
But I think he was one of the first original guys that would do like the GoPro on his head.
Yeah.
Which, to my only other note, once again proving that GoPro footage can look good in a movie.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson, Michael Bay did it better. How's that feel?
Feels bad for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty. They go all out. Which I appreciated. It, sometimes you just got to go hard, and it comes across right.
Yeah.
You got to go all in, and they did this. I mean, there were some cool things about the movie. The driving was pretty fun. They did like some cool camera angles. They did one from like under the steering wheel, like through the steering wheel, showing Dave Franco driving. It's pretty cool.
I think it says a lot that when they crash, right, and it shows Dave Franco dead.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he's gonna be fine. And then I was like, legitimately upset.
Me too. Yeah.
Not that they'd killed him. Like, well, what's the point? Like, mad at Michael Bay, but like, no.
I know my note was literally Dave. No.
Yeah.
That was my note when he died.
Like, just in that chase scene that made me like that character.
Yeah.
And they like built it up to where like you knew him, the kind of person he was, the relationship they had as a team. I think it was like him and the doctor girl had like a thing. Or was that what it was?
Maybe.
The doctor girl. And the doctor woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was she a doctor? She's their medic.
Yeah. I think she was like a real doctor. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, doctor from a war-torn country that can patch a gash wound in under 30 seconds or whatever,
Saw through a femur in 28 seconds.
Oh, was that her? No.
That was from Atlantis, The Lost Empire.
No, wait.
What?
Oh, maybe it was like oh no, I heard a story about like a famous doctor in like, this might have been like Civil War times, but who was really good at cutting off legs. But like one or two went really bad. What am I thinking of? Who was it? Maybe it was like one of those comedians telling a story or something, but like he was like drunk one time and did the thing and then messed up. And then the saw thing went too far and it like punctured the assistant and he got infected and died. And then the same guy, and the guy was like, wow, it's like the only surgery ever to have a 200% mortality rate or whatever. You're like, oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know where that's from. The internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, although, okay, I know I did like Dave Franco's character, but I think my note here is that I want my Dave Franco to be gentler. I just think of him as a more gentle boy.
Well, he was the driver. He was like Baby Driver.
No, because he had more bloodlust than Baby Driver. You haven't seen Baby Driver. Get out of here. Okay. But Dave, he's very intense and he's like all hyped up on caffeine. He's probably had 2 Monsters or 4 Loco, I don't know.
Oh, 4 Loco.
I just wanted a gentler Dave. But he died, so it doesn't matter.
Fun fact, for all you people out there that have drank 4 Loco, I've chugged 2 of them before and it was a bad idea.
Uh-huh.
Malt liquor, fun fact, hits harder than you think it will.
Really? I did not know this.
It'll get you.
It's always how they get you.
And it's a lot of caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
And when it kicks in, Cody, it kicks in.
Kicks in. Kicks right in.
Kicks you like a donkey in the face. You know how you feel when you get kicked in the face by a donkey?
Only, yes, always. I've been there.
Here's my thing. If you're out there drinking 4 Loco, here's my thing. Here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. And feel fine. Don't drink the 4 Loco.
Oh,
that's the secret.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
All right, I see you. So, I liked the driving. There was some good action. The GoPro footage actually worked. That's surprising. I did like that the car actually got really beat up during the scene. Like by the end of the scene, you could see all the scratches and all the stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I appreciate when they take the time to add those details to a movie. Even though it was an over-top action movie, they didn't really have to. They did it, I like that. I did, there was, they did some graphic stuff in the movie. They played it for over the top and played it for laughs. Kind of like Deadpool or Zombieland did. Same vibe.
Yeah.
But he was trying to get the information out of the guy or whatever, and he wouldn't wouldn't tell him anything, and so he's like, "Oh, you're gonna be a pirate." And then the next thing, he like pulls his eye out to the retina scan or whatever. So like, he just has a dude's eyeball.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely over the top. But
Why did he have to dangle it by the nerve
yeah,
over the phone? Why was that needed?
yeah. Oh, it sure wasn't. But that's part of the charm.
Yeah.
Part of the charm of the movie.
Yeah.
I said this was bold. I don't know what it was in reference to. Maybe it was one of their vehicles or something. Oh, no. I think maybe it was in reference to the parkour guy. Everyone kind of had a nickname. Mm-hmm. But one of them was called... No. It was the shooter. It was the sniper, I think.
All right.
The Spook.
Yeah.
I thought that was a dangerously bold nickname given like the racial slur connotations of that word.
Because it was the CIA, the former CIA agent, because she was a CIA spook, which is that's what she was. That's what they're.
Just seen one too many Clint Eastwood movies not to think of that every time I hear the word.
Yeah, but
You're saying it's a thing.
It is a thing.
That's good.
Like the CIA people that don't exist and go and kill a foreign dictator, that would be a spook.
Why can't they call them Caspers or spooky boys?
Raccoons.
Stop
Would
it.
that make you feel more comfortable?
You're not helping. Okay, what about this? I'm trying to remember.
Hold on. Side note: I just need to tell you about this guy I used to work with. He was an African American man. He used to live down in Louisiana, and he got invited by a bunch of white guys to a coon hunt, and he thought they were going raccoon hunting. He showed up. It was a barbecue, and a guy he knew was like, "You need to leave."
What?
So they were not going to hunt him for sport, but it was meant to be a racist thing that they did as a joke.
Oh,
and
like
he was like,
low-key,
"You need to not be
like
here."
a low-key race intimidation thingy?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, "You don't," because he was from like New York, and it just or something like
Whatever
somewhere where it
said.
said never encountered
goodness.
that level of racism.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, he's like, "Yeah." So we left.
Oh my goodness.
But he did say he ate their barbecue, and it was fantastic.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You know what? It goes to show, no matter how racist your heart may be, the language we all speak is smoked meats. You know? Ron Funches is in this movie, and he is a treasure. I don't remember what he said or what he did. Was it like, oh, his brother died. That was it. So his brother was the guy they get to replace Dave Franco. Is he at his funeral or something?
Yes.
And he starts crying. I forget what he does. I just love Ron Funches, and he was great. His little role.
Yeah. He's giving the
good.
speech, yes. It may have just been a friend of his.
Yeah.
Because he really does. Is he the one that started really making it about himself? And they like go up and be like, "All right, it's time to go now."
Yeah. It may have been. I just, I'm a big fan of Funches.
It's funny how his like stand-up comedy is always so deadpan. But every time I see him in a movie, he's always so emotional. Mm-hmm. Like he's the emotional guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. We like him.
He's a sweet boy.
He is a sweet boy. So, I had a thing that I didn't use. I didn't even notice it.
No.
That's okay. It's just about magnets. I noticed a lot of Muse. You know the band Muse? Mm-hmm. Everyone's favorite alternative 2000s band?
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of Muse music popping in and out of this one. There were at least 2 or 3 Muse songs.
Yeah, I did think there were several points where I thought, so Michael Bay had a lot of input on the music of this film. Is that what's happening?
There was also a Bishop Briggs song, which kind of threw me for a loop. I don't know. Is it bad that I knew some of the music in this, or should I feel ashamed or dirty at all, or is that?
I think you just need to acknowledge it for what it is, and that's that you and Michael Bay are very closely interlinked.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that you said that about me.
Yeah.
All right. Best part of this movie, easily, the tennis costume. They got to go to Vegas. They got to pick up a couple of bad guys, take care of them.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't be conspicuous, have a good whatever. They both have on the most like over the top like caricature of a Russian tennis player. They have like a giant fake nose and like big long hair, and they're in full tennis garb to check into the hotel. Or it was
like the
my
big Puerto
goodness.
Rican guy who used to be like a mob hitman or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. And then I think he calls him out on it. He's like, this is not inconspicuous. He's like, what is that? That's not even a costume. You're just wearing a hat or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, I love that. Oh, so good. So, it's driving me crazy. The shooter lady, the spook,
So the sniper was the guy that got that got during the movie.
the new guy.
The CIA lady was the one that.
But she did
killed
shoot.
him.
She was a
could shoot.
shooter too.
She shot.
She's just not the sniper. Mason.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was driving me crazy. I was trying to figure out who she was. Mm-hmm. I figured it out. She plays the French girl in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh.
She's the main girl who owns the movie theater in Inglourious Bastards.
That's cool.
It was driving me crazy, and
So
then I figured it out.
She is the storyline that I could just do without in that movie.
How could you say that? That's like most of the scenes that what's his name is in, the inspector, the detective guy, Christoph Waltz.
I know. That's the heartbreaking part of it. If he could be transferred to another part of the movie.
You're so wrong. I can't believe how wrong you are.
You must wait for the cream. Wait for the cream.
Yeah. We love him.
He's a good boy.
Okay. Here's my thought. We were watching this movie, and I was just like, you know what? I need this movie, but there's 7 of them, and the 7th one is Borat. You know? They already go to Turgestan, you know? Like, you might as well throw Borat in the mix.
Yeah. That's what
I'd be
thought the same
into
thing.
it.
It's like, are they going to encounter him? Please. Just like let them like encounter him somehow.
So great. Last it was not to be.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know.
One of the guys, they were like about to go do their thing, and they had to like pick the music, or it was in the car and they were picking the music, and it's like the worst song came on, and whoever was like, sorry, I have bad taste. just like it's totally excused. I don't know. I thought it was good. I liked it. There's good jokes.
Oh, when there was the other part where like they're getting ready to do the coup, you know, and they start blasting the pump up jam to get all the people riled up.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "What? Why would you pick this?" And he's like, "It's good." Like him and the mob hitman guy, the Puerto Rican guy. What's his name? Four.
Yeah.
Maybe. Four Loco. Oh.
No.
Full circle.
Full circle.
He it's like trying to defend it. Like, what do you mean? Anyway, it was a good time. I liked it personally. 3. Dang it, I was so close. 4 was the.
You mean
part
Manuel
where-
Garcia Rolfo?
Yes.
Who everybody knows from The Magnificent Seven, Murder on the Orient Express, and Widows, and Sicario 2. Yeah. The inferior Sicario.
How dare you?
Yeah, no. To everyone who's seen both Sicarios, you already know. You don't need me to tell you, but you know what? If you're thinking of watching the second Sicario, do yourself a favor. Just watch Sicario 1 over again. Emily Blunt isn't even in the sequel. How are you going to make the second one without her, okay?
It's because she's too busy being married to John Krasinski.
And being Mary Poppins, and are they going to make another one? Because I really enjoyed the one they did, so I wouldn't be mad if they did another one. You didn't see Mary Poppins Returns?
No.
It was delightful.
I knew you were going to say delightful.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. The other guy, Emily Mortimer, Emily Blunt, 2 Emilys. Surprise Dick Van Dyke appearance. A little number. I didn't love Meryl Streep's part, but it's always a pleasure to see her. She was delightful film. Beautiful sets. Emily Blunt is a revelation. Who's Raymond in the movie?
Raymond
is.
I have the list up here. Mm-hmm. Raymond. I don't see Raymond yet. Unless he's one of the numbers. And then this is not going to give me.
I wrote that Raymond is a treasure, and I guess I just wish I knew. I wish I knew what I meant by it, because I liked it, whatever it was.
Is it the actor's name or the name? Michael Bay is reporter number 4.
Boo. Boo.
Just a voice, though. He was just asking a question, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know who Raymond is, but that's fine. Whoever he is, he's a treasure. You know who you are.
Well, there's Payman, who's the guy that plays the brother of the dictator.
Yeah.
Is that who you meant?
Probably. I don't know.
But that's the name of the actor, not the name of the character. Anyway, the point is probably one of the numbers. So I don't know.
It can't be known. You'll have to watch it to find out what on earth I meant by it.
Yeah.
So, I'm really confused. I need your help. They did a movie reference. And here's the problem. I've seen it parodied. And so, when I saw it, I was like, that can't be a UHF reference, you know? So I need you to tell me what this movie quote is from. And if you don't know it, I mean, we're in trouble. Badges. We don't need no stinking badges. What is that?
It feels, if I had to guess, feels like a Bad Boys reference.
When you type in badges to the internet, that's the first thing. It's from the 1948 film Treasure of the Sierra Madre. So, there you go. Here's the thing. In UHF, there's a guy who has a pet show, an animal show on the cable network, and he says badgers. We don't need no stinking badgers. Anyway, I was very confused. I was like, did they just do a pun on the... But obviously UHF, it's Weird Al, so it would be a parody of something. Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Everyone knows it, 1948 film. It's a classic. It's from, the 1927 novel, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, which was the basis for the film.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Nailed it.
The tomato meter on this movie, which you think is his best film,
Yeah.
is 36%. Do you have a rebuttal?
The audience score is 60. Boom. Roasted.
6 Underground is loud.
6 out of 10 people.
Frenetic.
What? What does that mean?
And finally, preposterous, which is either bad news or a hearty recommendation, depending how one. Here's the thing, okay? If you're a critic and you can't write a coherent sentence,
it's a phonetic movie. What? You all know if there's one thing you know about me, I hate phonetic movies.
No, frenetic.
I don't know what that
means. What does it mean? I'll look it up. I'll look up the word.
Like, freno means break in Spanish, so use that.
Fast and energetic in a rather wild and uncontrolled way.
That sounds like a good thing.
It's like, okay, here's the thing. Do you know your friend whose parents got him made him read from a vocabulary book or something, and he thinks he's the smartest person in the world because he uses the word bellicose regularly?
Yeah.
And you every day get a little bit closer to actually carrying out your pact with you and your other friends to murder him and hide his body in the desert?
Yes.
That guy is a movie critic.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the kind of thing not everyone would enjoy, but if you're the kind of person who enjoys action movies and enjoys comedies, like if you at all enjoy Deadpool or if at all enjoy Zombieland, then I think this is right up your alley.
Yeah.
You know?
But if you use the word frenetic in a sentence, you're probably not going to like the film.
Yeah.
If you forget to use, normal words, that would be... The thing is, you ever scroll down and look at these reviews?
No, I spare myself.
Like, most of them, I would say they have the coherence of a third grader. And I'm like, and I'll be like, oh, this is probably for some, tiny little site, or it's someone who maybe English isn't their first language. And then it'll be like, the Washington Post.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you shouldn't be reviewing this film.
It's like, I remember when Inception came out, loved it. Obviously, because it's a great film.
It's the best.
I remember one of the reviews was like, I mean, sure, it's an interesting plot, but dreams are nothing like that. It's like, because dreams are really like abstract and don't make any sense. So the movie doesn't make sense. You wanted the movie to actually look like how a dream looks, and you wanted like a banana man to randomly pop up, and then they're in their underwear in class, and then they get chased by the banana man, and then the dream's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make it. You're like, why are you complaining about the way you portray? You want it to be a realistic portrayal of dreams? That sounds like a dumb movie. Just watch this heady dream within a dream within a dream, Christopher Nolan, Leonardo DiCaprio, and just take it and enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the kind of complaint you're gonna. What's that about?
I know
the dream wasn't real. It's a dream.
Yeah.
You can't. What? People don't want to have joy in their lives. You know.
Here's what I think we should do.
To be delighted.
We should make a movie.
Yes.
Let me pitch it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Is Raymond in it?
Yes.
Because he's a treasure.
Because everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Ray Romano's probably in this, right? Yeah. Why not?
So, you have the screen. You divide it into sections. All right? 10 by 10, 100 sections. You play on each of them random snippets of completely unrelated things.
Okay.
On several of them, you have 2 different videos overlaid over each other. It's 3.5 seconds long. You blast the speakers of all the audio from everything at full volume, and then it's over.
It's just like
Inception.
holding a mirror up to society.
Yeah. But it's, we're trying to say, hey, it's Inception, full colon, no semicolon in here.
No way.
Inception, the real way it should have been done before.
Yes. Finally do Inception right.
Because that's how, you want to simulate a dream? Mm-hmm. We're going to play, some of the scenes, they're going to be from Six Underground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's your action fantasy that you had during your dream. Some of them are going to be from The Thing. Some of them are going to be some stuff that will probably make the movie X-rated. Yep. We're making a dream here, man.
Yeah, that's how dreams are.
None of it's going to be intelligible.
You can't tell me. It's not going to be predictable. There's not going to be any structure. You don't know.
Yeah. You're not going to remember any of it.
So, I did a thing. I have a surprise for us.
You called
Because I thought,
Reynolds?
why just do a podcast when we can do a podcast, pause in the middle, give you a surprise, and then get your feedback on it?
Oh, am I pausing it?
So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pause our recording. We're
Right
going to
now?
take a 5-minute recess where I'm going to gift you your surprise, and then we're going to come back and finish the episode. All right?
Okay.
Deal?
Pause right now?
Right now. All right, Tyler. Just tell us about your little surprise.
I mean, it's shocking.
Yeah.
I feel like a changed man. All those things I said about those movie critics, you guys are doing a good job out there,
Hold on. Have you been brought to peace?
Just, it's like...
Have you achieved nirvana?
Yeah. One
From
with the
what?
universe.
From what, though?
You brought me very suspicious Oreos.
Okay. What was suspicious about them?
They had weed in them.
No.
Okay. They looked like you had taken 2 Oreos and pushed them together.
False. I gave you most stuff Oreos.
Yeah.
For those who are uninitiated, the levels of Oreo are thus: Thins, Oreo, Double Stuff, Mega Stuff, and the newly christened Most Stuff.
How new do you think these Oreos are, Cody?
How many what?
How new do you think these Oreos are?
I don't know. I know we've talked about them before.
Yeah.
I've never actually got them. And I wanted to get them and experience them with you.
What's your review?
Oh, it was gross. There's 2 camps, right? You got Oreo Classic folks who like the balance. And then there's people who think the cookie is garbage and the only thing that matters is the stuff.
The white stuff.
And those people are gluttons and vagabonds and vandals. And I don't know. It's just the cookie brings balance. Okay, there's a balance. The stuff is good, and only when it's contrasted against the grounding of the cookie. And this most stuff, you saw my face. It's like when you get a cake with too much frosting. It's like when you're like, oh, I licked the paddle after I decorated a cake. Oh, that was fun. The frosting's so delicious. Versus when you think you do the dark deed, the sin of taking a big spoonful of frosting to eat. And halfway through, you're like, this was a mistake. And you don't stop because you can't stop. And then you feel dirty. I feel dirty. That's how
Yeah.
It felt, couldn't appreciate my cookie. And I just ate a fistful of buttercream frosting.
Oh, it's not as good as buttercream frosting anymore.
And it's just, the other thing, these boys did not hold together. I jumped them out of the container, the tops were falling off and crack. I was like, oh, these they struggled. It just, It was a lot of frosting, white stuff.
White
Excuse
stuff.
me. What, you liked it?
No, Cody, here's what you need to understand.
What?
This is the Oreo product that I am the biggest proponent of is just the cookie. Just sell me a package of the chocolate cracker.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I want.
Right.
That's what I need in my life. I would if I thought I could socially get away with it, scoop out the frosting and just leave it in the package sometimes. Most of the time.
I like the cookie. It's a good cookie.
It's the best part. Here's another thing. PSA to all you peeps out there. Mm-hmm. We all know Oreo got bought from Nabisco got bought, or Oreo got bought from Nabisco. Point is, Oreos are now made down in Mexico by a company based in Michigan. You guessed it, that has a vaguely Mexican sounding name, but was founded in Michigan by Michigans. Point is, ever since they moved it down there, it has a weird chemically taste to it. But you get yourself these gluten-free Oreos, the glutinos as they're called. It tastes like the old cream, and it's very special. But the cookie itself kind of tastes like they made an Oreo cookie but burnt it a little bit.
Interesting. I have friends that really like the gluten-free JoJo's at Trader Joe's.
No, it's good though.
I don't think there's as much of a revelation as others.
But have you tried the glutinos?
No.
They're good.
Maybe.
Here's
I'll
the
try
thing.
them.
You could soak them for an hour in that milk, Cody. They're going to come out. They're going to be solid as a rock. Not really. But they're going to hold together.
Interesting. That's desirable.
It's desirable. You know it's desirable. You're not going to get this powder. Look, rub your fingers together and tell me they're not powdery right now.
I don't know. Maybe.
This is the kind of injustice that Ryan Reynolds was fighting against. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Powdery fingers.
Yeah. Well, thank you for going on that adventure. I saw the most stuffs and I said, I can't do this alone, but I have to know. And so here we are.
Here's the question, though. Have you ever had 100 stuff before?
No.
I have.
Why? Wait, do you have to do that yourself?
Yes. Here's the thing.
Wait, are you saying you take 100 Oreos and put all the white stuff in between two cookies?
Yes. Well, I think we may have taken 50 double stuffs. The point is, people ask me, why don't you like the white stuff anymore? That's why. Because I had 100 Oreos worth of white stuff in one sitting. Can I tell you also, I was wearing a dirty white undershirt while I did it, and it really just felt right. It felt like the right outfit to be wearing at the time.
Oh, my word.
So that's my
that'll change a man.
That's my resume to be part of Six Underground.
Well, okay, all right. Thank you for this. 6 Underground. To go back to my notes, thank you. Excuse me. Pardon the interruption, sir. Thank you. Excuse you.
You're welcome.
Excuse you. The THX sound. That was a little throwback they threw in there. That was the sound effect for the magnet, I think. The big magnet thingy they did in the boat. Big yacht, and there's a big magnet, and it flips the boat so they could use it to their... Right? That was it? Or is it something else?
No, they used that to break the glass.
Break the glass.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun throwback, because he even said the years it was active in theaters. I was like, I forgot that that was a thing for so many years, and then it stopped being a thing.
Yeah, you'd have to cover... I don't know if you were a kid that with...
I had gentle ears as a boy.
The gentle... you got to cover your ears.
I would wear earplugs when I was like 6.
Yeah.
Wear earplugs.
Have you had the moment where your mom looks you in the eye and says, if I'd taken you to the doctor when you were a kid, you probably would have been diagnosed as autistic? And you're like, thanks, Mom. I feel special now.
No.
I feel special in all the wrong ways. And then when you bring it up later at dinner conversation with guests, she's like, I never said that. Yes, you did.
Of course not. Oh, the old spectrum.
Yeah.
We've all been there one time or another.
Yeah.
There's some good gags. They get the brother so they're trying to stage a coup, right? So like, we're gonna get rid of the bad dictator guy and his brother who's pro-democracy. We're gonna be able to sneak him in. That was interesting. They go through all the things like, how do you stage a coup? We got to get rid of these top main people. We got to incite the people to rise up. We got to give him a personal look too. It's the brother, whatever. So they have to kidnap the brother. They do, and then 3. His name's 3. Mm-hmm. He he's like punching him repeatedly in the face. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm knocking him out." And he keeps punching him, and he like stop.
I like
It was a good bit.
that this movie. It feels like the same kind of movie as like you said the Old Guard, or like a heist movie or something, where it's like these people are the best. They're like superhuman good at it, but they were all very grounded in reality. Where like the parkour guy didn't do he like naded a car with like a grenade launcher, but up to a point you were kind of like, what are you there for? And he's like, but the whole thing he was there for was just to be like, I see guys coming down this way, you need to go down this road. And then when they were stuck, he had a grenade launcher to like get them out of being cornered. But it's not like he was like dropping down assassinating guys like in an Assassin's Creed movie, or like when he's knocking them out. Most people don't go down with one punch.
Right.
So he's trying and he's still like fully conscious.
It was good. Do you want to tell me about the grandma mug? I wrote that down. I don't remember what it was. The grandma mug. Grandma
mug.
Mug.
Grandma mug.
A mug of a grandma. Guess you just have to watch the movie to find out.
I can't tell you about the There was a grandma in the movie.
Did she have a mug? Did it say something fun on it?
No, maybe.
I
didn't notice a mug that said something.
It's lost to us. I liked at the end. To the end, they get the general. He runs away, but then his helicopter has to land, and then the people take him. A little mob justice.
Yeah,
we did it.
Throw him to the wolves.
Everyone pretends like they're gonna do it, then no one does it. This movie actually did it, and it felt a little dark. Sure, maybe, but at least they did it. They're not cowards.
That what made me kind of go like, oh my gosh, was so they. Because I've seen movies before use snippets of the crowd from when Gaddafi got pulled out of his hidey hole. Which they use snippets, but I think they recreated them with people. But it was like, that's what it was supposed to look like, was when he got pulled out of his hole and torn apart by the mob.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was very brutal. And, people are like, oh, that's awful. But if anybody deserves it, it would have been that guy.
Yeah. It is interesting, for as over the top and frenetic as this movie can be.
Yeah.
It was in some ways it was grounded. like the staging the coup thing and that. It was interesting how they kind of did keep it grounded in certain ways.
Yeah, I mean the thought would be like, what if someone like Bill Gates was in his 30s and was like, I need to be Batman, but Batman's not going to work in real life, so I need to gather a team of people.
Yeah. Definitely. I learned that this is the second most expensive Netflix movie to date.
What's the most expensive?
The Irishman by Martin Scorsese. Yeah.
Isn't it 4.5 hours long or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
It's very long. It is one of my more favorite Scorsese movies, and I've seen a lot of Scorsese movies I like.
I've seen stuff pop up about The Irishman recently.
Yeah.
My favorite part about that film is watching the same people who are like, give this movie an Oscar. It's the best movie ever made. Until now, they're like, I really wish I could have that time back. They're like, it was okay, but like, I don't like watching it. And I'm just looking forward to like a year or two from now when they're like, I hate that movie. My gosh.
Well, it's one of those things too, like it should not have been the most expensive movie because it's just people talking in period costume, but I think it's just the aging technology they used. I think having to de-age De Niro in so many shots just made it more expensive.
Which I think someone was like, why did you do that? Just because it's like him looking younger, but he can't move like somebody younger, so it just looks like a 20-year-old Robert De Niro moving like an 80-year-old Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
He could just cast somebody. But it wasn't expensive because of all the big name people who were in it.
Yeah. It had a lot. But I mean, it's one of those things too where for those kind of movies, they don't cost that much because those people want to work on those projects. Most of those Oscar movies aren't $175 million budgets. They're like 20, 30, $40 million budgets. And it's just like, well, you're not getting a huge payout, but you're going to act in this movie. You're going to do a good job. You get nominated for an Oscar. Now you're super marketable. It's a great way to, not that Robert De Niro needs it, but it happens with other younger actors who are like, oh, sweet, you got the nod, so now you're hot, in demand, and you can do, do Transformers 5 and get your big paycheck, or whatever it is.
Could have just cast Dave Franco as young Robert De Niro.
Ooh, oh, I want that movie now.
Yeah, you do.
Give me the Snyder cut of The Irishman. All right, get Dave Franco in there. I don't know who does he work with? Someone else, Zack Snyder. We all know it. The go-to person Zack Snyder always has in his movies. Let's just say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoever the guy who plays Night Owl was. Yes.
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
He might be in a second Snyder. We all know the Zack Snyder movies. We don't need to name them. There's too many to count. You know, we all know it.
Yeah.
So what about okay, remember the jet? The Ghost team has a ghost jet that flies and they're all in it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, that's Michael Bay's jet. Yeah. Michael Bay owns a jet, and that is it.
Here's my question. Did he do that? Did they save money by using his jet? And he's like, we'll just pay for the fuel? Or was he like, what was the movie we watched recently where they used somebody's car, but they like rented it to the movie for an outrageous amount of money to use in the movie? No? Psych. It was a CSI episode that they mentioned.
Stop it.
But
who rented their car to a CSI episode?
no, it was a crime in a movie filming thing.
All right.
But they're like, this is the person's car. They rented it to the production for like the $10,000 a day.
All right. I hear you. I see you.
I've heard of other like guys, someone in the position of Vin Diesel. Not that he would ever do this. Oh, you almost got the tongue of Bindi.
Yeah, almost. It's quite a feat. All right, Tyler. What else do we need to know about this movie? The humor is delightful. The action is over the top. The plot actually kind of has some substance to it. Ryan Reynolds is charming as ever. Dave Franco left us too soon. Ron Funches is a delight.
He should be number 8.
For action/comedy fans, anyone who likes that crossover, I think it's one to watch. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
It's not an Oscar movie. It's not anything like that. It's not an action thriller, whatever dramatic thing. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the gags. It was a fun movie. I would, if you like the action comedy crossover, I think it's for you. If you had any appeal, if Deadpool or Zombieland had any appeal to you, this is right up that alley. And I wouldn't say it's quite as good as Deadpool or Zombieland. Maybe Zombieland. But, you know, it's of quality. So I'm going to say it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't regret watching it.
Yeah.
So we did it.
We did it.
High five
As a
all
team.
around. Well, is there anything else to say? Am I missing something?
Well, I wanted to ask you something because it's
me.
relevant, and we're talking about a movie made by and released by Netflix,
Yeah,
which is a streaming service.
they do.
Which means this is a big budget Michael Bay action flick that will never see the inside of a theater.
Yeah.
So on that note, do you have any thoughts? Do you have opinions? That's the name of the show. On the Warner Brothers announcement. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
And
do.
with the HBO Max.
Is it like Dune is coming out this week, next weekend, or this weekend, and they're doing it in theaters and on HBO?
Dune is coming out this weekend?
I've seen two things. I've seen some people say Dune is pushed, and then I saw another thing that was like, nope, they're putting it out on HBO Max. It was very confusing.
What? So, I mean, their announcement was all their movies are coming out in theaters and HBO Max same day.
Yeah. Yes. I recall
So,
that.
a lot of
Yeah, I
directors...
thought Dune was included in that because that was
Yeah.
kind of a scandal.
So, the reason Dune is included, Denis Villeneuve, he put out...
It says release date December 18th, 2020, which is yesterday.
Oh. But he put out a big thing because he signed a 2-movie deal with Warner Brothers. And I thought he had put out this thing saying this was uncool and wrong and he wouldn't do a second movie. No. What he put out was that the second movie is contingent on its success at the box office.
Yeah.
Which he made the point that it cannot hit the numbers it has to hit. So there won't be a second Dune movie.
Yeah.
So I think my hope is that they're just being dramatic and resistant to this. And of course, Warner Brothers, if they see a huge upswell in if they see a several million people watch that on HBO Max and they see a bunch of new subscribers that go directly to that and a success at the box office, they're going to want to make a second Dune movie. And they're going to see the same budget, which I was watching a video from someone who does a lot of like writing and stuff, and he said he made a good point that they didn't talk to any of the directors, or at least tell them before they told the world, which is why a lot of these guys are upset, because it switches from treating them like creatives to like vendors. Like, hey, we're paying you to make this movie.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of confusion as to the Dune release date. It's not on HBO Max. Obviously, it is pushed out some because I've seen it like pushed to October next year. I'm not sure when it'll come out. Yeah, but it didn't come out yet. The David Lynch Dune is on HBO Max. So if you're, of that persuasion, it is a bummer. Here's my problem: you can't just not release any movies. Yeah, because that's what 2021 has been. It's like we didn't start. We stopped releasing movies in April or March or April, and then we released one movie, if we're talking blockbusters, which was Tenet, which actually it did okay. It didn't do as well as you would hope of Christopher. It didn't do as well as Inception or Dark Knight, but it did well enough to like not be a loss. Which is considering it's like, what else can you do? So they're holding all these movies in their pocket, and so they have to find a way to release them, but it's tough. $600,000. I have a decent setup here. I didn't feel like I lost out by watching a movie here, but if I didn't have a great setup, I mean, would I watch Dune at home for the first time? Yes, but I would much prefer. I would want to go to the theater to see that because I've been excited about Denis' next movie since the last two Denis Villeneuve movies I've seen.
Which that's what I would say. Like for me, I'm excited about Dune just because it's Dune and it looks like they're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna go see that in theaters.
It's heartbreaking because he's made some of the best sci-fi movies of the decade.
Yeah.
Arrival, which did pretty well. Blade Runner, which just wasn't. It was a misstep just in that not enough people saw it, but like it won Oscars. It was amazing. I think it's one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever.
Yeah.
And so hand him Dune. You're like, yeah, keep handing it. He's doing an amazing job. But it's a shame that it's like, well, it has to do well. We can't make art for art's sake. It's got to be a giant box office smash. And you're like, well, it's not Avengers. It is a movie. It's not a movie based on a comic book. It's not a Disney property. It's a classic sci-fi novel. You have to at some point take some concessions to say, you know what, we're gonna do this the right way. We're gonna try to honor the beloved source material, give it to a great director, give it to a great cast, bring it to life. If you can make any amount of money off of it, then isn't that worth doing? I don't know. The business side of it kind of sucks.
Yeah, which so what I'm thinking is everybody's looking at this thinking, well, that's gonna kill big box office movies, right? Because they're not gonna have that box office. But
you can't just not release movies.
Well, it's also that they are going by doing this move, they are going to make more off of HBO Max in the next 5 years than they would have made off all their movies. Mm-hmm. That's just how this always shakes out, because HBO Max costs as much as going to see a movie every month.
Yeah.
So, and they get more of the money.
Yeah.
So the only people who I think are really going to end up losing out is movie theaters are going to end up having to be smaller.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's one of Denis' criticisms too. He's like, okay, I mean, you can say it's death of the blockbuster, but without blockbusters, we don't have big movie theaters. And I would love to see Dune in IMAX or Dolby.
I could see, 10 years from now, right? Or even like 20 years from now when we're taking our kids to see movies like Dune. Mm-hmm. Where you go to the theater and it's not 30 screens and the small screen won't exist anymore. It'll just be the regular big screen, whatever the IMAX and Dolby and Prime, like it'll be those, like a half a dozen huge screens, because there's always going to be people who will pay, because like if we both have the AMC list, right?
Yeah.
Like, if that doubled in price, would you still go for it? But imagine movies kept coming out like normal, but you could also just stream it from home, that doubles in price. Would you still pay to go see a movie, multiple movies a month?
I don't know. Last year I would have said yes.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, but now you've been kind of broken of going to see movies.
Now I've been broke. I mean, I've seen like 6 movies in theaters this year. Last year I saw like 60 movies.
Yeah.
Or 50 or 60 movies. Almost all of them in theaters. You know, that's like how many I saw in theaters. And this year it's been like 6. It was like Sonic, the Hedgehog, Tenet twice, Doctor Strangelove, like one other. You know, it's just like Harley Quinn, I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really enjoyed the A-list thing. I really liked that. I like being able to pop over to the movie theater. But I know not, you know, at the time I was like, okay, just a single dude. I got time on my hands. Yeah, I love to spend my time that way. Now, married dude. I mean, if I had kids, that wouldn't be a thing. Like popping over to the movie theater to see like an R-rated movie, you know, just like, well, I don't know. And as TVs get better, it's easier to be like, I can watch it at home, you know?
Yeah.
But it's hard. I don't know if I'd pay for the A-listing, but I would still go to movies.
Yeah.
You know, I still would. A-list has made it so I'll see any movie. That's what's kind of fun about it, at least for me. Whereas otherwise, it's like, you kind of have to be picky. You're like, am I going to see this movie? You know, did it get good reviews? Is it worth my time? Do I have the time to go see it? Am I going to enjoy it? Is it the kind of movie I like? Okay, yeah, I'll go see it.
Yeah.
A-list is just like, it's a movie, it's playing. I don't have plans this evening? Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
I already paid for it. I prepaid to see as many movies as I want this month, essentially.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I don't think theaters are ever going anywhere. I understand. I don't know what, like, the directors who are like, I don't like that they didn't tell me. I guess I'm kind of the opinion of like
the director in charge of the distribution of the film.
But like,
created the film.
Yeah, because their whole thing is like they're treating them like a vendor. Like they're getting, so it's like they went to them like a contractor. That's what a lot of people say. Like the relationship between Warner Brothers and their directors has been famously, they're the ones that treat you the most like you're an artist.
Yeah.
That they've commissioned something from. But that's the whole thing, is that they're like, yeah, they're changing it from looking at me like an artist that's painting a mural to like an artist that they've commissioned a mural from. And I'm like, what do you think this, what do you, like, they're like, they should have told me. And I'm like,
that's the problem with the blockbuster thing, right? You know, it's like the same thing. All the directors get mad. Like Edgar Wright leaves a project, you know, a Marvel project. And you're like, yeah, they're not going to give you final cut. They have a whole universe, deep pockets, owned by Disney. That's kind of how it goes. If you want final cut, make a David Lynch movie.
Yeah.
Get $12 million together and make your indie film, you know? But then it's hard. I'm all about the art of movie and popular art, and that's what we have to, you know, it's the most broad art we have to, you know, it's the art everyone consumes is movies. So,
but would you say Netflix has put out some very good, like, artsy movies?
Yeah, they have. They have.
But the only way those ever end up in a theater is if they're like, they had to from Oscars.
They had to for the Oscars, yeah.
Which they don't have to anymore. So they don't. You know?
I don't know if I've ever seen a Netflix movie in theaters. I've always seen it at home.
Yeah, because it's usually like a limited
I started
run.
Mank today. That's one of their Oscar baity kind of movies.
Yeah.
Even if all the theaters were like open and thriving, I still would have seen it at home.
So I just think like, I feel like people are concerned. A lot of people I see concerned about it taking money out of their budgets and forcing them to fail.
AMC is supposed to be bankrupt now or next month or whatever. So if we don't get theaters open, I mean, will it just mean that the chains dissolve and now we're going to, in 2 years when everything's more normal, new chains will arise? You know, I don't know. I mean, in most of the movies I've seen this year, I've seen a lot of them at the local indie theater. Yeah. That's where I've seen most of the movies, just because, like...
Trying to support them.
I'm trying to support them, because, I don't know, I guess I would rather them stay. I don't know. I love AMC, and I love the A-list thing.
They did a really cool thing at the beginning of the pandemic, where when they closed all the theaters, they paused everybody's membership.
Yeah.
Which is something they didn't have to do. And
People would have freaked out, though, if you still charged me $20 a month where I literally couldn't use it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, most people like your gym membership didn't pause when the gym shut down.
Yeah.
Like if you
This ain't no sucker.
had a membership to
I
anything
don't have a
else, it
gym
didn't
membership.
stop when everything shut down. But
The
they were
world
like,
is my gym, sir.
yeah.
What's that's
Your
from Community. I just remember that.
But you still pay more for your apartment because there's a gym, even though it got shut down for a while.
Sure do. I
They
mean,
didn't give you a rebate on your rent.
I didn't plan to use this gym, but you know what happens? Sometimes your work shuts down their facility for COVID, and that was your other gym. You know,
Yeah.
got a work gym, got an apartment gym. My body is a gym. You know,
Yeah.
you see me out here doing my planks. You see me out here doing my squat thrusts. You see me out here doing my thrust pumps.
Yeah.
You see me out here doing my pump jigs.
Yeah.
I work out is what I'm saying, and I don't feel like any of you are giving me enough credit for it.
Yeah.
I work out on a bi-monthly schedule for 15 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
So
Feel ya.
game should recognize game here.
Yeah. Anyway,
It hurts my heart. I hope it goes fine. I don't know what will happen. I really like to see movies, and I feel like that it's the problem with movies is that they're getting more expensive because it's like IMAX, Dolby, these theaters, their tickets cost more, and I don't know. Our movies, they're not going to go away.
no.
But it might very well in a year or two when we're able to meet for movies. I think it will have changed. I wonder what that dynamic will be like. I wonder who the players will be. I mean, if AMC is completely kaput out of money, totally, they can't pay the rent, you know, for their theaters, then
Yeah. Of course, I've seen a lot of articles and stuff about large companies looking to buy them. Like, I know Apple had shown a lot of interest in them. And
yeah.
because it's funny, they're like AMC's bankrupt. AMC already went bankrupt and got bought by a Chinese mega corporation. And
Sure.
so now is that Chinese mega company going bankrupt because all the theaters in China shut down too?
There's one thing I know about global economics. China's got deep pockets, all right?
Yeah.
They got a communist government and a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's what I know.
Yeah. All truth. All truth.
They're getting Hong Kong back, whether anybody likes it or not.
Yeah.
Them deep
I
pockets.
still refuse to watch Mulan.
You know, that's best for everyone. I have friends that love that movie, the new one.
Yeah. It's because they're
Don't watch
Chinese
it.
sympathizers.
Don't watch it, not only because of probably politics, but also because it was just okay.
Yeah. But Dune will be real special. And I'm very excited. And if I can contain myself long enough, I will go see it in IMAX. But if I can't, maybe I won't.
Oh,
But either way, I'll see it in IMAX.
I hope and pray we can see it in IMAX together while spooning. By that I mean we'll be eating out the same pint of ice cream with spoons.
Oh, okay.
That's what I call spooning. I don't know what that means to you, but I'm pretty sure that's what most people mean when they say spooning. But just to clarify, in case you didn't know.
No, yeah, you nailed it. Yeah. So,
So watch 600 Ground.
Yeah, watch
on
600
Netflix
Ground.
at home.
Yeah. Instead of going to theaters suck and they're
dumb
dead.
theaters, and who even likes to sit in the seats with the people there?
Why would we even need the second half of the
Can't
Dune
even
book?
text while you watch the movie.
Yeah.
What's that garbage?
I want only the first half of Dune, the boring,
Yeah,
super
obviously.
political part.
I want the first. It's like Frank Herbert. Why'd you even write a whole book?
Exactly.
Come on. Well, thanks for listening. You can follow, rate, and review us at Opinion Havers wherever you find podcasts. You can yell at me on Twitter or on Facebook at Opinion Havers. I know.
Speaking of giant evil mega corporations, am I right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm in deep with Mark. Mark Z and I, we use the same sunscreen. Let's just put it that way.
So you're a lizard person.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and until next time, watch movies.
And have opinions.
You know, you hear about that cult that believes in the Lizard King monster guy? Remember that? You ever heard about that?
Talking about the Baptists?
Stop.